what's up guys, it's Claudio and we're back at Randall's Island. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. I got dropped. What can I say? Like the good old days, man. It just doesn't end. It's like you think you get past a certain level and you're never gonna get dropped, but you get dropped. It's easy to get dropped. This is fixed gear. This is a neutral lap. This is a really fun race. Guys, you gotta stay tuned. The second half of this video, I'm gonna interview my friend Max, who made the break. So we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna ask him all kinds of things about, how he made the break, what it was like, what kind of power he was doing, and he's gonna tell us everything. He's gonna give us a scoop. And he's right here in the front. You can see him in the white, not right in front of me, but to the left. Anyways, neutral lap, and right here's where things are very tense because somebody's going to start to sprint soon. So you got to be towards the front. I knew that the sprint was coming. I didn't think it would be this vicious, but it's coming. I mean, this is a slaughter fest here. And we're all waiting. Somebody's going to go. Sometimes it's coming from the back. Sometimes it's the guy right in front. And people are looking back. People are looking around. We're waiting for it. And here it is. Here it comes. Bam. And let's time this effort right here. From right here, 30 seconds. We're going to try to guess how many watts I did for 30 seconds, the first 30 seconds. And I got to hop on this wheel. I got to get right on it. Look at the wind direction. We're getting hit big time. And now there's a gap. And look at the watts that I'm doing. This is killing me. This is awful. I have to close this down. I don't close it down fast enough. I'm still not closing it down. I got to let this guy do it and slot in, but he's not really. So now I have to continue to close it. And right here, 30 seconds, I did 433 watts right away at the beginning. And look at my heart rate. I mean, it keeps on going up. And that's what did me in. I can't just do 433 watts like it's nothing. Like that will cost me. And I'm still having to do watts here. It's like it really put a big dent in my legs. I closed it down. Look behind me. Okay, we got a gap. It's so strung out. I mean, people at the front they're doing this to destroy the field so that they can break it down to a smaller competition, and then it's easier. Look at the huge gap. Look what already. I mean, these guys know what's up. They have to close it down, and I'm just trying to surf wheels to get into the break. Until the split, whatever it is, but I know right away I hear that I'm in trouble. There's way too many gaps in front of us. Look behind me, huge gaps. And I have every excuse, okay? I came off of a sick week. So the whole week before this, I didn't ride at all. Maybe I rode like 30 minutes total. I mean, look at this gap. This is bad. When you see stuff like this, it's bad. My heart rate, 181. And so I came off the bike sick, and I raced right before this. Okay, I raced a Cat 4, so my legs were already messed up from that. And you always think that you can catch them at the turn, but then I take kind of a dumb line. I go, there's a way to do it more on the inside. I realized later on, like Chris here did, and he ends up making the break. I could have followed him, but I just didn't have anything. And look, they're gone, man. People are starting to notice it. I gotta hop on this wheel. I still have some matches left, but I'm at 180, and I'm hurting big time. I need to get up there. I can already tell this is bad. I'm hoping that people in the front, that front group starts to slow down. It's the only chance, and I have some time to recover, but it doesn't look like they are. Let's take a look at this turn here. You're gonna be able to see what's going on, how strung out it is. Behind me, there's a gap. And I mean, they're pedaling hard. I think Max is in the front. My friend Max is hammering it. He's killing us. And we're not going to close this gap in this kind of like headwind, this kind of cross headwind. There's no way. Nobody's going to sprint up there after they have already sprinted 5 times in this first lap. We're all toast. Here comes somebody. I couldn't catch that. Nobody could. But does he make it? Oh, here comes another guy. He's strong, and I know him, and he could bridge, but man, what's in his legs though? How much did he already do? Right? And you can see the guys in the front. There's even one guy off the front. So they are really pushing the tempo here. And it's in the wind, and man, forget about it. That's it. It's like they're gone. It's history. Total slaughter fest. If you weren't on that front group from the beginning, it would be very difficult, even if you're very strong, to catch up. There's no way. People are getting popped. These guys, we're not going to bridge up there. I don't think any of us bridged. And that's the race. Just like that in one lap. Done. I don't know what I could have done. I could have been, if I were maybe in the top 3 at the beginning, I could have done something. Maybe I could have stayed in there. But there's no way, because they kept pushing. They kept on pushing. And I think they were rotating. And I think they got really organized. And I don't think I would have been able to hang on to the kind of watts that they were doing at that speed. But now let's talk to Max. Max is a friend of mine from New York. He's also a bass player. He has a really cool bike. We're going to talk about it. It's a belt drive. And he's going to tell us all the things, what happened, his perspective on the break. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for that interview. It's coming right now. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm posting all kinds of cool content coming up. Tons of racing. I'm racing this week in track. I'm racing more races. I got Tulsa coming up. Follow me on Instagram. I post all my workouts in my Instagram stories. I just got into skateboarding. I'm doing all kinds of things. I got an air fryer. Anyways, let's cut to Max. Thank you. All right, so we have Max here. How's it going, man?
What's up? Thanks for having me, Claudio.
Yeah, of course. So for those of you who don't know Max, he is in New York here with me, a buddy of mine. He plays the bass and he rides bikes and he has a beard. So naturally, we're best friends, right?
Yeah, and we basically weigh almost the same amount,
yeah.
And we're targeting the same race and on the same trainer road plan.
Man, everything. We're going to Tulsa together in the Cat 4, so we're super hyped about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, man, this race, you got into the break. So are you like a breakaway guy? What are you?
I don't know what I am. I'm a Cat 4 racer trying to figure out what I am.
Same.
I definitely like hurting. Pain is kind of my home. It's where I live. It's where I feel good. You and I did some Zwift races together. We streamed those on your channel, and that whole Zwift suffering thing is kind of my home base. Yeah. But I do have some top end power. Outside of a race, I can definitely bring about 1,200 watts for 5 seconds ish, nice. And 1,000 watts for 10 seconds. I've never brought that kind of power to the end of a race ever, right. But it is somewhere in my legs. So I don't know what I am. I have no idea.
Got it. Very cool. So man, tell me about, because you were ahead of me at the beginning of the race when race started. And there was a sprint, and how were you like chilling in that, or did you catch the train, or did you suffer like I did?
Neutral lap and last lap are like the two most important thing at Randall Island to me. So I was definitely planning to be second, third wheel. So I saw Simon kick immediately, and Simon Ellison is a strong boy, and I know he wants a break. He told me before the race that he was going for a break. So I saw him kick, and I was like, I'm not waiting. Right. So I did suffer really hard. I did a lot of power to get up to Simon's wheel and then hold Simon's wheel. It took a lot. I hurt myself pretty badly right off the bat.
Yeah. So you got up there, and tell me about the dynamic of the break, because I've been on a break like once or twice, and I felt like everybody hated me because I couldn't pull as hard as they could. And like, is that the vibe? Like, what was it like?
Now, Simon, Phil, and I are former teammates with each other. So we all used to ride for a team together. So we know each other. Yeah. What was really interesting in the dynamic to me was that we didn't realize how close the field was to catching us for like the first lap and a half. We were eyes forward. Yeah. We immediately fell into rotation. We immediately started working, except for Chris. And we can talk about Chris at length. Chris Chris took one pull, I think, the whole breakaway. And we did yell at Chris at one point. I love you, but Chris did get yelled at. But we split the work pretty evenly, and we all worked really hard, and we were just eyes forward committed from lap one.
Yeah. What happens when you have a rider that is not, that's clearly doesn't have the kind of power that you have in the other people? Like, what do you do? Like, is that person, like, if I were in there, would I have to take a shorter pull? Would that be okay? Or would I skip a pull? Like, what do I do?
We have this benefit where we know everybody. Like, we're not going to have this in Tulsa. Tulsa's going to be scary because we don't know these people, but we know these riders. Chris can sprint. Chris can out sprint me any day of the week. Mm-hmm. So when Chris was skipping pulls, that's scary to me because Chris doesn't have a lot of threshold power, but I also don't want to take Chris to the line with anything in his legs because he will beat me every time. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this with all the respect in the world, but I think I got you in a sprint, Claudio. and I say that with nothing but love. I think I got you in a sprint. So if you were taking shorter pulls, but you were doing your pulls, I would be fine with that. I don't think anyone would yell at you. Yeah. If you skipped every pull, I would force you to the front or drop you off the back, or, adrenaline would kick in and I might yell at you or something like that. But I guess in my mind, Chris at the end of a race is more of a threat to me. He can really sprint. Yeah. And again, I say that with only love for all the cyclists.
Yeah. Man, so tell me about your, like, what kind of efforts were you doing in there in the break? What does it take?
Okay, so I hit 5, 10, 20, and 30-minute power PRs in the break. Yeah.
In the break, like, that means that you were sitting in also, like, at high watts?
Yeah, it was wild. So I have some numbers here. So my 5-minute power was 351. My 10-minute power was 327. My 20-minute power was 306. And my 30-minute power was 299.
Oh, my God.
So at 148 pounds, that for me, for some people, I'm sure that's like, their average race for the Cat 1-2s and stuff like that. For me, that's insane. From lap 2, I was ready to drop out.
Ready?
I was 185 BPM. I was ready to throw up, and I lap 2, I had this moment where I was like, I think I'm going to drop out. I can't do it, and fought through it and held on, and really happy I did.
Oh my God. That's insane. It's like, because you got basically a new FTP from that, right?
I did. Yeah, I did get a new FTP from it. Yeah.
That's
291 is my FTP after that race.
That's crazy. That's awesome, man. Congrats on that.
Thanks.
How did you feel on the last straightaway? Like, did you have enough to sprint? Like, how'd you finish?
Yeah, my finish was frustrating for sure. Yeah. So I spun out, which was really frustrating. I got 4th, but like to my really, really good friends and some of the strongest Cat 4 guys in New York. So I can't be that upset about it. And to be clear, that's not me saying like if I had a higher gearing, I would have won, because who knows? Maybe I would have cooked my legs in those corners every time if I had too high of a gearing.
Yeah, man.
But I don't know.
That's awesome. Congrats on that 4th place, man.
Thanks.
Tell us real quick about your bike, because I know you have a special setup, real special setup.
Totally. So Priority supported me in this race, which was huge. Priority Bicycles, please go check them out. I was racing on a prototype Ace. This bike is not released yet. It's going to be released in the future. I can't say when, but it will be released. But so to just be totally clear, I work for Priority. I'm the customer service team manager, and Priority was super generous in supporting me by giving me this prototype bike to race, crash, do whatever I want with. So the bike is really unique in that it is belt driven. There's no chain on it at all. It has a carbon belt drive by Gates. And the very interesting thing that I think caught a lot of eyes at the race was with a carbon belt drive, you can only run so small of a rear sprocket. So I had to run a 70-tooth front chainring, which was hilarious.
It looks insane.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But yeah, so it's unlike the other Aces that Priority has released, but that was cool. I mean, a big part of what played into the race for me was Priority was there filming it and supported me through this whole race and doing this prototype bike. And I will say that having the camera on me forced me to go a lot deeper than I think I would have gone otherwise. And that was kind of a teaching moment, because if I could go that deep because the camera was on me, I can go that deep without the camera on me. So I definitely learned a lot about myself from that experience. And I can't thank Priority enough for the massive support that they gave me in this race with the bike, showing up, the film crew, all that.
Very cool. Well, man, this was awesome. Can't wait for more. Are there any more fixed races that you're going to do?
The big one is going to be Harlem Skyscraper. Legion's coming out. It's the week after Tulsa, so we'll still have a little bit of peak fitness left over.
That's cool.
So I'm definitely coming for Harlem Skyscraper fixed gear to get in there and test it out.
Very cool. All right, man. Everybody, do us a favor and follow Max on Instagram. Put the handle here. Show him some love. Thank you for coming out, man.
Dude, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So we'll see you guys out there. Peace.
Peace.